So you're trying to move to Dallas, Texas, or Frisco, Texas, or Prosper, or some of the hottest neighborhoods all around the Dallas area, but you're having buyer fatigue right now, meaning you've lost probably two, three, four, five, sometimes six, seven, eight homes, which we have seen this. We have helped clients that have come from other agents that have missed out. They call this buyer fatigue in the real estate industry, meaning that, eventually you get to a point where you've made so many offers and lost so many deals that you just can't handle it anymore. Well, in this market, we're barely in the first week of March, and we've already helped over 72 families win homes. Yes, you heard that correctly. 72 families win homes in just pretty much the first 2 months. Meaning, and whenever I say win homes, that's exactly what I mean. It is winning a home. This market is extremely competitive. There's an extreme inventory shortage. And there is a ton of buyers out in the market. Nationally, right now, they're saying only 1.5 million homes are listed, and there's 7 million active buyers, meaning when you put an offer on something, then you're probably facing at least 7 offers minimum on that home. So how do you actually secure that home? Why is it some agents like ourselves are very successful at winning these homes, and why are other agents not so successful? That's what we're going to talk about in this video, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Dallas, Texas, and the surrounding areas, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas. My name is Levi. You know my partner Travis, and the team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you and you and you and you looking to make their move to Dallas. We love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Happy to help you make that smooth move to Dallas. So as I mentioned, buyer fatigue, that is a real term, and that is a term in the real estate industry. You may have not have heard this, but you're probably feeling it if you've lost out on multiple offers. And we have helped several families. Actually, go check out one of our latest Google reviews from Saeed. Saeed came to us after losing about 6 homes with another agent, and we were able to secure his home on the second try. Now, the first one was completely out of our hands, but on the second try with the second home, we were able to get him under contract. And so that's a pretty big deal, right? Because we are seeing this time and time again. You think about 72 families that we've already helped. That means we had to win those deals. And a lot of our homes, we're seeing between 15 to 25 offers at any given time. We are still seeing 40, 50, sometimes even $100,000 over on these homes. Now, that's absolutely crazy, but it takes the right team, the right agents to be able to handle that. How do we do that differently than most? Well, the reason is because we're here to work for you, and we're going to have the discussion. Whenever you call in with us, we got to figure out what exactly you're looking for, what you're willing to do, your timeline. There's several different factors. Ultimately, we go through that all in the initial discussion, okay? But we need to understand what's your cash on hand? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to put in, highly competitive offers? And we got to understand your situation and what's going to fit you best. On top of that, we only have to find you one house. Now that's very important, because no matter what the market is doing, every single house we look at on a case-by-case basis, meaning that every single house has its own story. And so what we do is we pre-negotiate every deal. Okay, that's very important, because we need to understand if it's even worth submitting an offer. So if you're working with someone right now and they're saying, hey, you like that house? Let's put in an offer. Oh, you like that house? Let's put in an offer. And by the way, if an agent ever has you put in multiple offers at one time, that's not a good idea. All right. I'm just saying that right now. But here's the deal. If we say, okay, you like this house, let us find out a little bit more information. We're going to do some due diligence, do a little digging. And then also, based on your criteria, your willingness to go over on that property and what your threshold is, we're going to find out. So we're going to dig in, find out all the information, and we're going to let you know, hey, we believe this home is going to take 30 or 40 or maybe possibly $50,000 over. Now, if you only have cash reserves of 10, 20, or 30, 40, or 40,000, and it's going 50,000 over, it doesn't make sense for us to submit an offer. Now, we may submit an offer as a backup offer, but we let you know ahead of time that, there's not a very good chance that we can win that house if it doesn't, or if it goes past your threshold or what you're able or willing to do. But we're always going to have that discussion with you first. That's very important because we're not here to force you to buy into anything. Now, we are going to create a sense of urgency in the fact that you need to be decisive in this market, meaning the old days are gone, at least for right now. Remember the old days about 2 years ago? For those that maybe bought 2 years ago, you could go look at homes for a day or two, and then you could say, well, I'll think about it. Let me go home and sleep. And after seeing 10 homes, I'll make an offer on one of the homes that I saw because they're all still there. And I'll even offer a little bit less. Let's see if we can negotiate. Those days are long gone. You can pretty much, I can promise you almost every home you see today is going to be gone tomorrow. And so if you see something you like, we need to work fast and act fast and try to figure out what it's going to take to win that home. Again, if it's not going to meet your criteria or your threshold or what you're willing to do, let's move on. Again, we can submit a backup offer, but we're going to let you know ahead of time because we don't want you to get emotionally tied to that home or think that there's an opportunity. If let's just submit an offer. If we're just any offer in 20 other offers, that's why people are losing offers all the time because, you just get slipped in there with everybody else. It's a dime a dozen on offers these days, literally. So we need to understand how can we make the offer the most aggressive and put our best foot forward. And that's really on the pre-existing homes. You see any pre-existing homes, meaning not new construction, that's what's happening, multiple offers. Now in the new construction arena, they're still first come, first serve. There's only one main builder that is actually putting homes on the market for bidding wars, but most new construction homes are first come, first serve. However, you're probably calling around and everyone's telling you, well, there's 500 people on the waiting list. Go ahead and we'll put you on the waiting list. Yeah, but there's really no weight to that. And you'll probably notice that there's still homes going under contract in that community, but you're like, well, I've been on the wait list for a really long time. Well, here's the deal, is that we have relationships in these communities and with these builders. Now, let me paint a little picture for you. What do you think builders are going to do whenever homes come available or they fall out of contract and go back on the market? Do you think they want to sit there and call through 500 people to find their next buyer? Or do you think they'd rather call an agent like ourselves, who we have multiple buyers? We're always working with active buyers and we know their criteria and what they're looking for. So do you think that builder would like to take a 500 person wait list and they have a home available and they say, okay, let me go to that wait list? And for people that have been sitting on there for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, they call person number one, hey, we got a home available. Oh, sorry, I already bought a house. Number two, hey, I already have a home available. They've already bought a house. Number three, oh, we're not in the market anymore. Oh, number four, oh, we decided to wait. Oh, number five, we're not moving after all. So do you think the builder wants to do that and call through 500 people to try to find their next buyer? Or would they rather call an agent like us and say, hey, Levi, we just had a home that's coming available, or we had one that fell out of contract. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. It's 3,500 square feet. It's $658,000. Do you have anybody? Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. I've got the perfect client. Can we go by there today, or can I contract on it tomorrow? That's how most of the conversations go. And that's why we're able to secure these homes inside of these communities in Frisco, in Prosper, in Windsong Ranch, all these master plan communities where everybody wants to get into, is because of our relationships with the builders and the communities. Plus, we have several agents on our team. We have highly, highly trained specialists in all of these communities. We've got 2 of the best in Windsong Ranch. We've got one of our agents specializes in Plano. We got another agent specializing in McKinney. We got another agent specializing in Salina, another one in Melissa and Anna. We've got East Dallas. We've got Uptown. We've got Irving. We've got Forney. I mean, we've got agents that are embedded in their communities and are highly, highly, focused in on that community. So they know the people, know the neighbors, get properties off market before they're coming to market, get the inside scoop, all that type of situation. That's the advantage of, working with someone like ourselves. When we have a team, you're not just relying on me trying to get out there and figure out everything that's going on in the entire Dallas market, is we've got a great team embedded in all of these different communities, and they know exactly what's going on. And we come across off-market deals, coming soon deals, negotiate deals before anybody even ever sees them. That's a pretty good opportunity right there, right? And so that in itself is one way to really get past this buyer fatigue, is to work with our team as far as getting these deals. But whenever it comes down to right now, this market is going to make or break buyers, and it's going to make or break agents as well, because it is highly competitive and negotiations do matter in this market. So not only do you have to put your best foot forward as a buyer, but you need an agent that can actually, negotiate on your behalf. In the old days, 2 years ago, it was simply like, oh, let's submit an offer, and they'll reply with a counter, and then we'll counter that counter, and they'll counter our counter, and then we'll agree somewhere in the middle. That's not it these days. It's like the sellers hold a lot of power, but in reality, you're the buyer, you're the one making the offer. So you hold the power as far as how aggressive do you want to be. Now, again, there's a big difference between overbidding and overpaying. Okay. Overbidding means you're just going over what's the asking price, but overpaying means is that you're comping yourself out, or you're paying over what that home may be valued at, which means you would be responsible for what you can't get approved for. That's why most people want an appraisal waiver contingency in there, is because if you offer 50,000 over and it doesn't appraise for that, then you're going to have to come out of pocket cash. Now, what we've been doing is looking at all these homes and figuring out the best way that we can overbid without overpaying. And that's very critical. So you have to have several different strategies to be able to win inside this market. It is extremely competitive, especially here in Dallas. Over 300 to 400 people per day moving to Dallas. On top of that, Dallas is slated to be the #1 new construction, the #1 housing market for the next 10 years. And because of the population growth, in the last video I published, should I wait to buy or should I wait or buy or not to buy? One of those two videos we discussed about that Dallas is projected to become the 3rd largest metro. Think about that. It's going to pass up. That's what they're projecting. It's #4 right now. It's going to pass up Chicago. That's huge. Why? Because probably a lot of people are moving from Chicago. Actually, they are moving from Chicago down to Dallas. So when you have places like LA and New York, that they're also people are moving here in mass quantities, especially their corporations and their businesses, that's creating a significant demand here in the Dallas market. But it doesn't mean that we can't find you a house and we can't get you a house. So if you're in a position where you're with someone else and you're losing 2, 3, or you've lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 homes, feel free to reach out. We help you out. We've got a tremendous track record. And again, 72 families just within the first 2 months of the year. That's pretty significant. So we are winning deals. We know how to get the deal done. But ultimately, and if you want new construction, we're probably your best bet for that too. So there are ways to do that. Again, they're just, getting on those lists. Just because you're on the list doesn't mean they're going to call you and reach out to you, for that home. Unfortunately, that's the situation, but it is what it is. So we hope you found this helpful. The main point is, and the moral of the story is, if you're looking to make that move to Dallas or the surrounding areas, give us a call. We'd love to have a discussion with you, explain a lot more of this in depth, figure out exactly what your situation is, and then how we can help you out best as possible. And we are doing that every single day. So you'll find all of our information in the description below. And again, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to reach out. And until next time, hope to show you around town.